Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Maybe some of you it's evening, or others it's morning, or wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the stream. This is Marlon here. This is episode 4 of Kingdom Hearts 2. Hope you guys having a good day, or hoping that you guys will have a greater day in the days ahead or something. But right now it's just me. Just me, but other than that, we got weather. Plenty of it. Now, what are we doing today? Well, other than Kingdom Hearts, which we'll get to in about 10 minutes, let's talk about the weather. So, we got 76 active weather alerts, 19 are storm-based, with 3 severe thunderstorm warnings in New Mexico, Idaho, Montana, and South Carolina, and 16 special weather statements in Colorado, North Carolina, California, Wyoming, Texas, Tennessee, Montana, I think I said, Utah. Alright. And we have 7 non-precipitation active weather alerts, and 7 of them are air quality alerts. Now, where are they? Well, there's actually plenty in the Houston metro area. Let's see, the 6th. It's in South Carolina. Sorry about that. Third one is in Minnesota. Third one in Minnesota. The fourth one is also in Minnesota. Fifth one is just outside the Charlotte area in South Carolina. Let's check the 6th. The 6th one is in near Lake Superior in Michigan. And finally the 7th, I don't know why I'm doing this, also in Michigan. Near Sault Ste. Marie. There are 47 flood warnings, but we're not going to go through all of them. I mean, by now they should be visible, though. And they should be green. And there are 3 red flag warnings. First off, it's in the Reno, Carson City, Lake Tahoe area. The second one is in Lake Superior, well, in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan on the western side. And the third one is located in Northern California. Boy, folks, weather is getting rough no matter how you look at it. I mean, there are plenty of flood warnings in places, well, we'll get to that in a moment. Let's start off in the Northeast, where there are some scattered showers throughout much of the Northeast, with some of them being in New England and plenty of them in upstate New York. Just some of them are located in northeastern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, Hudson Valley, anywhere just north of the city, though. But elsewhere throughout the Northeast, I mean, oh yeah, there are some scattered clouds and a few showers in northern Maine. Other than that, well, and as well as the southern tip of Maine. Other than that, it's just dry conditions for the time being, folks. Which includes, well, scattered clouds and a few stray showers in Virginia along the 95 corridor. And there are also some storms that are occurring in places like North Carolina and South Carolina. Yet there are special weather statements there. It has to do with some strong thunderstorms that may produce small hail damaging winds, especially near Charlotte on the eastern side. One severe thunderstorm warning has been issued just near Greenville, South Carolina, along with the air quality alert. So that means the air quality is so poor that anyone with health problems would definitely need to be taken care of and be monitored. And if something goes wrong, well, gotta call 911 or head straight to the hospital immediately if it's life-threatening. We go down to Georgia, not much going on. Florida, right around right around South Florida, there's plenty of showers and thunderstorms present. And we do have a stationary front that's crossing through South Florida and through Lake Okeechobee, Tennessee, in the north and eastern part of the state. Plenty of thunderstorms brewing, and some of them are strong enough to issue special weather statements there, but not enough to issue severe thunderstorm warnings, folks. In Mississippi and Alabama, nothing going on, just some scattered showers and clouds throughout central Mississippi, but however, because of the water table in southern Alabama and southern Mississippi, and as well as southern Louisiana, well, parts of Louisiana, the riverbanks are about, well, right now they are overflowing. There are plenty of them, plenty of flood warnings in places like northern Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas, but yet some of them are producing some flooding, but it's not flash flood warning, folks. It's just a flood warning as a result of the storms that are right now happening in eastern Texas. And there's one special weather statement in which strong thunderstorms are present just on the north side of Houston, and just some scattered stray showers and thunderstorms in western panhandle of Texas. Oklahoma, all is clear. Missouri and Kansas, Nebraska and Iowa, they're clear. Let's take a look at the Ohio Valley, where we have western and southern Kentucky. They have some stray showers and thunderstorms present along the stationary front that's present there, along with southern Illinois and southeastern Missouri. Forgot that part, folks. Sorry about that. But in Ohio and Indiana, it's all clear, and the rest of Illinois also clear. Michigan, clear as well, along with the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, but as a result of that, along with some low humidity and some strong winds, which we'll talk a little bit more in detail later on, folks, in the stream, is that there are dry conditions that could constitute some wildfires out in the wilderness, just located in western Upper Peninsula Michigan, especially near Marquette. And also, there is an air quality alert as a result of the wildfires taking place in central Canada. So all that smoke will start to enter into the upper part of the atmosphere. It will engulf, or rather, it will take over throughout parts of the country, and some of which will reach here in the New York City area. Wisconsin, all good. Minnesota, although it may be good right now, but on the eastern side of Minnesota, things are not good because of some smoke that's present throughout that part of the state as a result of the wildfires, with smoke coming from Canada causing major issues for folks who have poor health conditions like asthma. And boy, it's awful. The Dakotas is mostly dry, but in the northwestern part of North Dakota, there are some scattered showers and clouds. Northern Rockies, hold on a minute, folks, let me talk over. Never mind. In the Northern Rockies, what we do have are some showers and thunderstorms located in central and eastern Montana, along with eastern Idaho, and some clouds are present in the central part of Idaho. Wyoming, plenty of thunderstorms to go around in the western half of the state, plus southeastern Wyoming as well, especially near Cheyenne. Cheyenne is having the special weather statement there, which means strong thunderstorms, small hail, damaging winds are present, and elsewhere, just southwest of of the state capital of Wyoming, Fort Collins, is also hit with a special weather statement, along with the west side of Denver and east of Colorado Springs. Strong thunderstorms are present, even down on throughout much of Colorado. Plenty of showers and thunderstorms there, especially in Utah, and as well as the central parts and eastern parts of Nevada, despite the fact that there are red flag warnings in the Reno, Carson City, Lake Tahoe region of Nevada. But Las Vegas, things are fine right now, yet as you leave Las Vegas, you go further down to the southern tip of Nevada, there are some scattered showers and clouds there, plus a few storms are present throughout much of Arizona and New Mexico, and it's all coming from the Gulf of California, though. All that moisture starts pushing towards the desert southwest. It's so unbelievable, folks. I mean, it is hot, it is dry, yet it's monsoon season for the desert southwest. They're going to get a lot of rain, some flooding, if there is just enough of heavy rain just to create major problems in terms of drainage. You go to California, and what do you see? Well, you see plenty of showers and clouds, maybe a few storms in the interior portion of Southern California, racing towards the west, yet it's evaporating. But elsewhere, as you move up north through the Sierra Nevadas, some parts, particularly in the southern part of the Sierra Nevadas, there are a few places that have special weather statements as a result of strong thunderstorms there. And even despite the fact that there is a red flag warning there, right at Mammoth Lakes, just east of Yosemite National Park, and elsewhere throughout the states, quite calm throughout California, yet the northern part of the state, including Redding, Chico, those places are under a red flag warning, which means strong winds, low humidity, and dead vegetation, which means it's going to be bad news once some idiot, just decides to start a fire by just putting out the cigarettes. Very, very wrong of that person. In Oregon and Washington, the Pacific Northwest, you're not seeing much. Just some trails of clouds and a few showers on the leeward side of the Cascades in Oregon. And it's been a thing. It's not really something I would consider a natural phenomenon. It's just something that's there, folks. I don't know why. All right, folks. So we'll get back to this in about an hour at 7:20. But in the meantime, I will transition to Kingdom Hearts 2. So let's get started right away, right about now. All right. But right now, I gotta take care of things on my end. I gotta use my phone real quick, just so that I would be able to go on, Twitch, in terms of the chat, because I'm not gonna be able to see the chat on my screen. Yeah, I'm getting something, folks. Okay, never mind. Alright, now give me a moment just to let me change the HDMI channel on my end, and then we'll get going. Alright, folks, I'm here. Right, on my end, at least. Okay, so what's next? Oops. I still need to increase the volume on my end, not yours. Okay, here we go. Okay, now let's get started. Kingdom Hearts 2 galore. So, how you guys doing? Anybody had a good weekend so far? Anybody looking forward to the day offs if you do work on weekends? Now, continuing where we left off from yesterday, we're at a part where now Sora, Donald, and Goofy are back. Roxas, he's gone now. For now. We met Roxas's friends, but as Sora, Donald, and Goofy, though. And can you stop breathing on me, Goofy? Welcome to Twilight Town. We have to do our homework. If you got time, why don't you get a job? Oh, wait. I don't think anyone's hiring right now. Yeah, because summer's over. Guys looking for you at the station. Hold on a minute. Let me mute the mic, folks. Alright, I'm back. So sorry about that, folks. Alright, let's go to the Station Plaza, folks. And what is this? Sora, I can't enter yet. Are they working on it? Looks like I can't do that. Station Heights. Unemployment is such a serious drag in this town. Well, why is there a question mark there? What the fuck? Looks like Sora's got new enemies. Defeat all the strange enemies. Ah, you dicks. Leave me alone, fuck you. Okay, looks like I moved up a level. That's good. Alright, now we got magic orbs. Hey, you! Looks like Goofy's level went up. Okay, Donald's level went up. Excellent. Yeah, this is becoming more of a chore now than it is just to fight a bunch of enemies right now. I wouldn't call them heartless because the way that they appear. Actually, maybe they can become. Oh wow, level 7. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Looks like the two of them are worn out. Oh, looks like Sora is also worn out as well. And look, Mickey! Epic Mickey. I haven't really played the game though. Money. Is it? Yeah, dude! Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You got. Yeah. What's next? Cheese? By Sora? That's also funny. And cringy though. That's what King Mickey would want us to do, Donald. Is to deal with it. The moolah pouch. We got 5,000 monies. Okay, pretty crystal. Anybody want to spend it on hoes? Okay, secret answer report. Okay, so nice, nice. Whoops. Let's go. Oh yeah. I bet they're worth 5,000 monies. Too bad Donald doesn't have pockets. Maybe give it to Goofy. Yeah, now Sora's gone through puberty, if you know what I mean. Thanks, man. You as well. Hayner, Olet, and Pence. I'm Sora. That bag is. Never mind. No problem. Alright, let's save real quick. Okay, we used to be at level 5, and now we're at level 7. We skipped a bunch of levels from that fight, you know. I'll ask the others if we're ready to leave. Donald? I bid you adieu. Yeah. Come to think of it. I'll think. Yeah, keep thinking. If there really is something. Yeah, at least. Yeah, wow. Sora. Oh no. No, no. Yeah, that's part Roxas. It's like saying goodbye to Roxas. You know what I mean. Oh man, I forgot about the chest! Damn it! The blue orb, or rather the blue marble. No, yeah, they have to actually. At some point, they have to be back. Okay, so this is off the tracks right now. They're going through the unbuilt, the not so the intangible tracks. Sora and Roxas. They're well, don't want to spoil it, but you know what I mean. Stupid Ansem, or should I say asshole. He should have been dead, yeah, at the end of the game, the last game, but now he's still alive. Looks like Axel is heading out. As for Ansem, what is that dick doing? What is this? No, man, the train is gone. Great. Where's the save point? Hey, Donald. Of course. Adventuring rule number 17. Collect information. Okay, whatever. That's what we're doing. Okay, now we got a nether, we got a potion. Okay. And who the hell are you? I think I may know that guy. His name is Pete. You fat cunt. Fuck you. Pete is a heartless dude. He's not one of them, but we should treat him like he is one. Oh, fuck Maleficent. We taught that bitch a lesson. It's like she hasn't learned a thing. We are gonna kill you. Maleficent, of course. Kiss my ass, dude. Let's fight. Okay, now those cockroaches are back. Great. Looks like we gotta clean up this whole infestation shit going on. Excellent. Oh yeah, bring it on. Why don't you fight me yourself? Just come at me. Come on. Sid. Bullshit. Yen Sid. Donald, get your ass back here. Oh, I thought it was the other Sid. You're a total joke, Pete. You know that? A fat cunt. That's who you are. Anyway, let's save right now, just to be on the safe side. Ether. Let's save again, because I got these. We're at the entryway of the tower. Come on, guys. Guys! Donald! Come on. Pete's a little late to the party. We already defeated Maleficent. I know that, dude. And Goofy. But run into Pete here. To think he's not just messing around with our world, but here too. Well, of course, Goofy. He's an imbecile. Alright. Onward! And fight as many enemies as we can. Oh, and what are you now? Well, looks like everyone's here. Or some of them are on their way here. Just waiting to get their ass kicked by us. Hey, you! Yeah, it's just nothing but a cockroach infestation. What's Goofy doing, dude? Is there a glitch? Let's see what's going on right now. It's 6:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Welcome to the stream for those of you just tuning in. My name is Marlon. This is episode 4 of Mushroom City in Minecraft. How you guys doing? Right now, we are in the tower, And we just met Pete, who's a total dick and a fat cunt. Yeah, Donald's level went up. Oh, looks like we got another Heartless to deal with. We got Fools to deal with. Of course not. Even after we beat Ansem. Otherwise, we'd be bored and broke. Okay. Dude, what are you doing? What's wrong? Sora, you're an idiot. You're a fool. Yes, he has. Of course. Yep, the Keyblade. Sora, don't be so casual. Yeah, study, Sora. Alright, let's read the book. Oh yeah, let's read the beginning. So let us read. So come, children, come. This is a reading group here. This is a book club. The beginning. Each journey gives rise to chance encounters, and each encounter brings forth a farewell. When a farewell leads to a journey, the world open their hearts. There are those chosen by the light, and those ensnared by darkness, friends who share the same bonds, though their paths may differ. When you doubt the path trod thus far, when the hand you held is lost to you, gaze anew at the heart that once was, for all the answers are within. Now let's read the interlude. Interlude. A long dream, a sad farewell, hanging in the air in that world between. What is reality? What is illusion? The path chosen by the young boy leads to his memories. When caught in the stream of days and nights, going past, gaze anew at your steps, for there all confusion will end. And now, finally, children, the future story. The future story. Will the day come when this battle, born of confusion, will end? It is different things to different people. Can the reality be that which is hidden? The reason is mere existence. Still, memories can be believed. Be not afraid. Entrust your body to the soothing waves of your memories. By and by, your fleeting rest will be over, and everything will begin. Alright, folks, well, we might reread that for those of you who are just coming in or just have no idea what is going on, but I'll be able to read to you guys one more time. So let's study it. Okay, so each journey gives rise to chance encounters. Okay, so there's going to be something that we'll face, and whatever we're facing will bring like a farewell, meaning that we might bid farewell to our former lives, a former part of our lives, our old lives, giving way to new encounter, to new endeavors. You know, something new will encounter. Okay, and the world would definitely be brought to our hearts. These are chosen by the light. Okay, and it's ensnared by darkness. Friends who share the same bonds. Okay, though their paths may differ. I see. So everyone has their differences in their destinies and their, whatever they want to do. But yet, when they bond, just about the same as each other, well, that just means that they do have something that they want to do, meaning that, like, for example, like right now, Sora, Donald, and Goofy, they have different plans. Like Goofy and Donald are after the King Mickey, and Sora's after Riku. Yet they form a bond as a result of whatever troubles that they've encountered. It's the same thing, and it turns out that, well, they do have a purpose, that they want to rid of anything that gets in their way. And their personalities, well, they may be different, but they sure get along and sure made their bond stronger. Now, it says, when you doubt the path trod thus far, okay, when the hand you held is lost to you, gaze anew at the heart that once was, for all the answers are within. Okay, the path that we trod, when the hand is held, when the hand that's held is lost, gaze anew at the heart. So that means that it's up to us to find out what's going on. We have to solve this problem that we have yet to answer. A long dream, okay, a sad farewell hanging in the air in that world between. So it's more like something that we have to leave behind our old lives, and reach for a new part of our lives. Yet we'll struggle through. There will be challenges, but they also said, what's reality and what's illusion? The path chosen by the young boy leads to his memories. So that means that we might encounter something that, what is real and what is not. And Sora will find out about the memories he'll make, or revisit. When caught in the stream of the days and nights going past, gaze anew at your steps, for there all confusion will end. Wait, caught in the stream of the days and nights going past, gaze anew at your steps, for there all confusion will end. So that means that for the next couple of days or nights, that once we learn more every step of the way, then there will be less confusion. And finally, future story. Okay, so will the day come when this battle born of confusion will end? It is different things to different people. So that means so that means it's up to us to figure things out. But everyone has their different tastes of thought and opinion. I mean, that's just my interpretation so far, folks. Can the reality be that which is hidden? Like, is it real? Like, amid all this confusion, all this I don't know. The reason is mere existence. Still, memories can be believed. I mean, there is something that can be realized, but yet, of course, people who remember things, well, it can happen. But regardless, it just means that even if you believe it or not, I mean, you just gotta keep, well, not only thinking, but you gotta, learn more about everything, just to, make sure that everything you know so far, or is enough for you to believe that those memories are finally clear, or it's just a myth. So don't be afraid and trust your body to the soothing waves of your memories. So that means that even if you don't remember, just believe in your gut. By and by, your fleeting rest will be over and everything will begin. Okay, so that means that once everything is settled, I mean, we can finally get back to well, I wouldn't call it normal, but more like finally have a peaceful set of mind. Okay, so now, folks, what do we do now? Okay, this book describes powerful spells. Okay, we got the map. That's good. Now let's save again. Strange Tower. Adventuring rule number 8. Search every corner of a new place. Oh, yeah. My mistake was the whole not being able to open the treasure chest back at that station. Donald! We have to read the book. We've been asleep for a while, so we need... Yeah, I know what he's talking about, you know. Hey! Okay. Okay, I read it through twice, so that means... Of course not. It's kind of like a virus. Well, I mean, that's simple thinking. I mean, that is that's theoretically sound of Goofy. Uh-oh. What is that? So they're nobodies. A dusk, huh? Yeah, this is a whole new game now. While there are still Heartless out there, however, even with a strong heart and will, tends to organization. It commands the lesser nobodies, so they're the biggest nobody. They remind me of the Akatsuki from Naruto in Naruto Shippuden. The Akatsuki. Yeah. Oh, oh, dude, you really have to say that? Yeah, I mean, sort. Yeah, because he's not a little kid anymore. He's a teenager now. In fact, yeah, he went through puberty. His voice had changed. I mean, even though the voice actor, has changed, but still. Not really. I've already covered that. All right. Now that we saved, now let's go here. And who are the three of them? Okay, let me mute the mic. All right, we're back. Let's talk to the blue one. Yeah, let's change. And you. I think it'd be a lot better if it were. Yeah, make it black. I would prefer black at this point. I mean, I like blue, but I would prefer. Please. Better. Black is more stylish. Okay, now it's Goofy and Donald's turn. Dang. Let's see. Oh, so it's a second Keyblade. Of course it is. Right. Yen Sid. Okay, the Star Seeker. I hope Donald's not pissed off about me getting a second Keyblade. With Goofy's help. Okay, use drive command. Okay, drive command has been added. The gauge on the lower right is consumed for transformation. It is powerful as it absorbs party members' strength, but party members disappear while transformed. I see. Alright, guys, let's open the chest. Sora, I think you dropped something. What? Oh boy. Yeah, it'd be pretty useful just to, like, yeah, keep it. You obtained the puzzle piece. Puzzle pieces are scattered all over the world. Some can only be accessed after learning a certain ability. You can view it. You can view collected pieces in Jiminy's journal. Okay, now let's get back to the loft. It's 7:01 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Welcome to the stream for those of you just tuning in. My name's Marlon. This is episode 4 of Kingdom Hearts 2. And what do you know? Looks like the Gumi ship has returned. Don't they need a change of clothes? Ah! Oh, looks like this is something we're gonna have to learn on our own. But I guess that's our only hope. So our hearts, of course. Oh shit, this is the worst. Well, we gotta find ways to block those paths. We need the light. I know, dude. Now Sora is doing his formal gesture now. And he just disappeared. Wow, just like that. Just like that. Is that a raven? Oh no, it's Maleficent's cloak. That was Maleficent. No, I think it's too late. Yeah, I mean, even if you don't say her name, yeah, even if you don't say her name, your memories will definitely come back. Yeah, will definitely get her. Well, that's because you remember your fears. You have remembered more than when you can say the word Maleficent. It's not always about you saying the word Maleficent. It's about you remembering. Oh, great! Now she's back to life. Great. Looks like we'll have to start all over again. And this time, she's definitely going to be more powerful than the first game. Well, look, it's the Chipmunks, Chip and Dale. Okay, so now we are moving on to our new destination. Okay, it says use the left stick to fly the Gumi ship. Try approaching the world at the bottom of the screen. When you arrive at your destination, press the triangle key to land. Let's land in Hollow Bastion right now. Oh shit! Looks like that fat cunt finally he got his wish, bringing Maleficent back in the cloak, along with the three sisters who have remembered her name, even though they didn't have to say it, but it's their fears that remembered. We need to kill that raven. Wait. At first I thought we were still at Twilight Town, but now... I agree. Oh shit, the Heartless are back. Of course we have to. Yeah, Hollow Bastion's completely different now. Marketplace. Okay, Awakening puzzle piece. Got it. Hey, Dewey! Items from previously visited shops will become available in larger towns. Well, let's just buy something. We got 80 monies. And we're not talking about Mickey's money. The ability ring. Eh. Whatever. Yeah, I'm not gonna even bother, to be honest. A lot of shops nearby. Looks like this one went out of business. Talk to Mughals in towns. They can synthesize items with various materials. Collect the materials used for item synthesis to create various items. Nope. I suppose that. Yeah, the last time we were in Hollow Bastion, the whole place was a battlefield. It was ruled by the Heartless. No economic development was located there because of Maleficent's reign of terror. Yuffie? Nobodies. I think. Okay, now that they're called nobodies, I'm gonna give them each new names. Uh, yeah, the black ones, the little black ones were cockroaches. The yeah the yeah they were cockroaches, but this one they're aliens. Yeah, where's their flying saucers, huh? All right, looks like everyone's power level went up. I mean, I wasn't paying attention to exactly who has leveled up. Hey, Yuffie. Yeah. Yeah. Because Hearts. That Leon. Yeah. Merlin's house. Yeah, it looks like economic development has become such a top commodity in Hollow Bastion with the help of Beauty and the Beast. All right, let's kill fools. Bunch of clowns. But even that did not stop the Heartless from being spawned. And now we got nobodies. Oh, cockroaches, cockroaches. Cockroaches, aliens, and fools. High potion we obtained. Now let's go to this room. Leon! Sid! Hold on just a minute. Wow. Cold storage. If we were, we'd be dead. Oh, of course. The Restoration Committee. They're the ones behind the economic development of Hollow Bastion. You got it. Maleficent, right? Well, Kind of sounds like Asuma from Naruto. Leon compliment. Yeah, Leon does sound like it reminds me of Asuma from Naruto, and then he later died. Well, character Asuma, he was killed by Hidan. Spoiler alert in Naruto Shippuden. Yeah, that's right. Oh, thank you. It's a credit card. uh, membership cards. That's cool. Wow. Yep. My magic, huh? Yeah. I mean, of course. Okay, we got a membership card. That's good. We got the Blizzard element. Okay, magic command. Consume MP from the gauge. Use at the bottom right. Okay, L1. Shortcut commands. Okay, we got the Blizzard. Yeah, but we're not going to use them right away. But in the meantime, let's just save. Oh yeah, folks, I forgot to mention, for those of you who are new here, just want to let you know that, yeah, we have to end the stream by 8 o'clock. But, however, well, actually, I think I got enough time. I mean, let's just spend about 3 or 5 more minutes here. Just to see what we're dealing with. I mean, we're going to get to the weather. Yeah, we're definitely going to get to the weather at 7:20. Because I do a lot of talking about the weather. Long beards. Okay, if you go to the right from here and climb the stairs, you'll arrive at the Bailey. Heartless are roaming around, so prepare yourselves for the marketplace. Okay, it's a journal on the world Merlin has visited in the future. Okay. Alright, well. Claymores. Have you seen the town's they're not as powerful as you, but depending on how you use them, they can really help. Okay. Let's go to the Borough. Yeah, we're only gonna like just take a quick peek and do some little fighting. It shouldn't take long, hopefully. Dark Shard. Excellent, we got the Mithril Shard. Got more fighting to do. Heartlesses and nobodies. The Heartless and the nobodies. Yeah. You know, I'm already learning the lesson here, folks, is that, yeah, in addition to be very mindful of, like, your heart, but as well as your memories, too. It's kind of like Chain of Memories, a game that I used to play, but I would rather stick with the main games, to be honest with you guys. No offense to those who enjoy playing the card game based game of Kingdom Hearts. Oh, look at that! Yeah, look at that. Now let's go get the treasure chest, fight some more foes. Krang is being used to rebuild this town. Oh wow, nice. Major economic development brewing and underway in Hollow Bastion. This is a whole new ball game right now, folks. Okay, so damn. All right. I can't do it. Okay. Well, Leon's gonna have to wait until Saturday of next weekend, which is in 6 days from now. So I am sorry, Leon, but time's running out on my stream, which means that I will have to pick it up on Saturday. But we're not gonna end the stream right away. We're actually gonna do the weather. Nah, we'll check that another time. Let's just stop right here. I know we're just gonna leave it there in a cliffhanger, but I got weather to do, just so you know, folks. Looks like Roxas and Sora are eating ice cream, or rather, popsicles. Alright, folks. What do we have here? Okay, now let me switch gears to Radar Omega right now, and we'll pick up Kingdom Hearts on Saturday, or maybe Friday if I'm lucky. But right now, we're just going to talk about the weather, and then do the weather topic of the day, and then end the stream. And the stream will end by 8 o'clock. Probably a little after, though, because I talk a lot about the weather. Okay, so what are we dealing with right now? So we got 77 active weather alerts. 21 of them are storm-based. 6 non-precipitation active weather alerts. Hydrological, 47 hydrological active weather alerts, and 3 fire weather alerts. So for here, we got 9 severe thunderstorm warnings in Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, North Carolina, Montana, and 12 special weather statements in Texas, Wyoming, New Mexico, South Carolina, North Carolina, Montana. I think I said Wyoming, if not, whatever. Utah. And let's go to the non-precipitation one. So, what do we got? Okay, so we got 6 air quality alerts. Some of them have to do with smog and others as a result of the Canadian wildfires. 47 flood warnings, but they're within the United States, so you know, folks. Only the storm-based ones can be in Canada. There are 3 red flag warnings, which we'll get to in a moment. So let's start off in the Northeast. So what do we got in the Northeast? Okay. In the Northeast, there are some scattered showers throughout northern New England, but the ones that were in southern New England, well, they're fading. But however, there's going to be more where that came from in places like the Finger Lakes, the Catskills, and the Hudson Valley. They're racing towards Connecticut and parts of Massachusetts and Rhode Island too. And also they're affecting places like northern New Jersey and the Poconos. Elsewhere throughout the Northeast, much is calm throughout the Mid-Atlantic. Just a few clouds rolling through Virginia and the Delmarva Peninsula, but it's virtually mostly clear. In the Carolinas, there is one severe thunderstorm warning, and along with a few special weather statements surrounding which, as a result of these lines of thunderstorms, they're moving towards the southeast right now. It's affecting places like Lumberton and about to move into Jacksonville, North Carolina. It just passed through Fayetteville, North Carolina. There are some few showers in northwestern South Carolina, in addition to the air quality alerts that are located there, and as well as some showers that are brewing or moving through the western portion of North Carolina that originated from places like Tennessee and Kentucky. And now they're fading in Kentucky and South Illinois, but I may have spoiled that already. But in eastern Tennessee, there's still pop-up showers and thunderstorms there. Sorry about that. Georgia, it's all clear, along with Alabama and, let's see, Mississippi. Does it look like as though there's still some scattered showers? I'd say not much, though. Not much, especially in Louisiana. Florida, well, northern Florida is all in the clear, but South Florida, there are some scattered showers and thunderstorms moving towards the east, but they're kind of fading away right now, but still, there's some thunderstorms near Palm Bay, Florida. And Arkansas, what do we have here? Well, we still have some showers and thunderstorms in a few areas, just on the western and center part of the state. And in eastern Texas, plenty of thunderstorms there. And let's see the rest of Louisiana, just to make sure. Well, nothing going on in Louisiana, but I have not really ignored the fact that there are a bunch of flood warnings throughout southern Alabama, southern Mississippi, and parts of Louisiana on the north and south sides. In the center part of the states, not really. But on the eastern side and the southern side of Arkansas, there are flood warnings there, along with eastern Texas, as a result of the floods, or rather rain events that have occurred throughout the past few days. And the water table is high up, that the riverbanks are now under a few feet of water right now as a result. And elsewhere throughout Texas, there are some scattered showers in the panhandle part of Texas, just south of Lubbock. Western Texas, just a few showers in a few areas. Oklahoma, all clear for the most part. And let me see, Missouri, southeastern Missouri, right now near Cape Girardeau. There are a few thunderstorms to the west. Nothing going on in Kansas, and also in just a tiny bit of clouds and showers on the western edge of Nebraska. Nothing much going on elsewhere in Nebraska and Kansas. But let's take a look at the rest of Kentucky, where north and eastern Kentucky, they're in the clear. Ohio, Indiana, and much of Illinois is also in the clear. Just a few thunderstorms in the southern tip of the state. And what do we have here? Michigan and Wisconsin, they're in the clear right now for the most part, but except the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, they are either under air quality alerts or red flag warnings as a result of dry weather and strong winds present there, and as well as some Canadian fires producing smoke, which has entered the upper part of the atmosphere, which will affect many parts of the country. And that includes the New York City area in a matter of a few days. Then we move on to the northern plains, like Minnesota. They're mostly clear, but they do have air quality alerts in the northeastern part of the state as a result of the Canadian wildfires. Yet Iowa is in the clear. The Dakotas mostly clear, just on the northwestern corner of the state. There are some scattered showers and clouds there. And in the northern Rockies, hold on just a minute, folks. Let me mute the mic. Okay, so all is good in terms of the background noise. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in the southern part of Montana, just south of Bozeman. There are plenty of thunderstorms throughout southern and eastern Montana, and as well as southeastern Idaho as well, and throughout much of Wyoming, including Cheyenne, with a special weather statement just miles north of Cheyenne. Oh yeah, and there's another two just west of Gillette and northwest of Casper. All that's caused by a stationary front that stretches from Northern California, swings through Nevada, Utah, Idaho, then through Montana, and then becomes a cold front through North Dakota and up north towards Canada. Now, what about Colorado? So there are two severe thunderstorm warnings just northeast of Denver and northeast of Fort Collins. And there are plenty of thunderstorms. Is there one in the Denver area? Why, yes, there is. Just on the, mostly on the eastern side, as well as Pueblo, and some scattered showers on the western side of the state. But the worst part of the storms are moving towards the east right now. But yeah, the stationary front is somewhat, I wouldn't call it paralleling through the I-25 corridor, but it's right around that part of Colorado going into Texas and Wyoming as well. Now we head to Utah, where there are plenty of scattered showers and storms throughout the Beehive State. Salt Lake City, you're not getting much though. St. George, not much. Cedar City, anywhere north of which there are plenty of storms there, but they're spotty though. And same story in the central and eastern parts of Nevada, along with red flag warnings in Reno, Carson City, and Lake Tahoe. Las Vegas, dry. In the desert southwest, plenty of showers and thunderstorms there. New Mexico, one area is under a severe thunderstorm warning, just right between Santa Fe and Clovis. And in Arizona, more showers and thunderstorms are moving from the Gulf of California, moving in towards Tucson, Phoenix, and approaching towards Flagstaff. And spotty showers are present throughout the northeastern part of Arizona. And in California, start with Southern California. Just a few showers in the desert part of Southern California. But, however, there are not many clouds throughout the LA basin, the LA area. Elsewhere throughout the state in Central California, throughout the Sierra Nevadas, particularly in places like Kings Canyon National Park and Mammoth Lakes, and just to the east of Yosemite National Park. Just they have some thunderstorms present there, but all of that may not be of benefit towards areas where they are under a red flag warning, because they may produce lightning, which means in turn they'll cause wildfires there. So gotta be on the lookout. Elsewhere, well, there's also another area of red flag warnings in Northern California. In the Pacific Northwest, not much going on, just a few spotty clouds and showers in the northern central part of the state, and as well as, I don't know if that's true, but because of the fact that they're linear, well, there could be some showers in the southeastern part of Oregon. Now let's switch to let's say more on the weather right now. So let's go here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, so you guys can see it. Let's refresh the page, right? So let's go over through the Northeast. So what do we got in the Northeast? Okay, so basically in the Northeast, winds are generally moving from the west. In some areas like western Pennsylvania, western New York, winds are blowing up to 25 miles an hour. In a few areas, especially in northern Maine. They're calmer in the parts of the Delmarva Peninsula, New Jersey, the New York City area. Winds are stronger along the immediate coastal part of the Northeast, stretching from the Delmarva Peninsula all the way to Maine, with winds up to 30 miles an hour in places like Maine. Shifting towards the northeast, though, temperature-wise, in Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire, temperatures are in the 40s to mid-50s there. Southern New England, temperatures are in the 50s. Upstate New York, temperatures are in the 40s to mid-50s there. In the tri-state area of New York City, like the Hudson Valley, Long Island, Western Connecticut, northern New Jersey, those places, the temperatures are in the 50s to low 60s there. Southern New Jersey, the Delmarva Peninsula, and as well, temperatures they're in the upper 50s to mid 60s there. In Pennsylvania, temperatures are in the upper 40s to upper 50s. Maryland, the western part, the western part of the Chesapeake Bay in Maryland, temperatures are in the 50s to mid 60s, including the Washington D.C. area. West Virginia, temperatures are in the 50s to mid 60s, along with temperatures in the upper 50s to upper 60s in Virginia, with winds in places like, let's say, the Delmarva Peninsula, Virginia, and the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Winds are actually coming from the coast and moving towards the northeast. But in southern Virginia, well, there is an area of surface, a low-pressure center there, in which winds are calmer. In North Carolina, mostly calm, just up to 20 miles per hour in areas where there are strong winds. But in North Carolina, winds are coming, well, in the western part, they're coming from the west, shifting towards the northeast. The eastern part, winds are coming from the southeast, moving towards the north. Temperature-wise, they're in the 60s to mid-70s. South Carolina, temperatures are in the mid-60s to mid-70s. But wind-wise, they're light and variable. But the coastal part, winds are up to 20 miles an hour, coming from the Atlantic. In Georgia, you have winds generally coming from the west, light and variable. But in the coast, such as Savannah, winds are coming from the south. And temperature-wise, they're in the 70s to low 80s there. Florida, winds are calmer in South Florida, but in the northern half of Florida, winds are coming from the Gulf. They're blowing at around 25 miles per hour. On the Gulf side, but from the Atlantic, in places like Daytona Beach and Jacksonville, winds are coming from the Atlantic from the southeast. They're blowing up to 20 miles an hour. Temperature-wise, they're in the 70s to low 80s there. Let's go to Tennessee, where winds are very light and variable, with temperatures in the 60s to mid-70s, except for western Tennessee, where temperatures are well into the 70s. Alabama and Mississippi, well, much of the two states do have light and variable winds. But the southern tips of each state, winds are coming from the Gulf, blowing about 20 miles an hour. And temperature-wise, they're in the 70s to low 80s there. Arkansas, winds are mostly light and variable. Temperature-wise, they're in the 70s to low 80s. Louisiana, the southern part of the state, winds are coming from the Gulf, blowing up to 20 miles an hour. Winds are light and variable in the north. Temperatures are in the upper 70s to low 80s. Texas. Let's go over Texas. So the Panhandle, western edge of the Panhandle, winds are coming from the west. They're blowing towards the north. While on the eastern side, they're coming from the east, shifting towards the northwest. Temperature-wise, they're in the upper 70s to mid-30s there. The western part of the state, well, actually, the wind speed, they are up to 25 to 30 miles an hour in the northern tip of Texas. Panhandle part, northern edge. Western Texas, some parts do have winds blowing about up to 20 to 30 miles an hour coming from the southeast. And temperature-wise, they're in the upper 80s to mid. No, hold on, just a minute. Never mind. Temperatures are in the upper 80s to mid 90s there. In South Texas, temperature, okay, so you got winds blowing up to 20 to 30 miles an hour in some areas, but anywhere just southeast of San Antonio, though. Temperature wise, they're in the 80s to mid 90s. Eastern Texas, winds are mostly light and variable, but except the coastal parts coming from the Gulf, with winds moving up to 25 miles per hour. But in northeastern Texas, well, winds are generally coming from the southeast. Temperature-wise, they're in the 80s, along with eastern Texas, if I haven't mentioned it. In Oklahoma, in the eastern part of Oklahoma, winds are light and variable, but as you move west, winds are stronger, moving towards the northwest, blowing up to 25 miles per hour, a little higher in a few areas like the Panhandle. Temperature-wise, they're in the 70s to mid 80 to low 80s there. Let's go to the Ohio Valley, where we do have, let's say, light and variable winds, but winds in general, they're coming from the north, but they're light and variable though. With temperatures that are actually in the 70s, or rather, they're in the 60s to low 70s in Kentucky. Ohio, temperatures are in the upper 50s to low 60s there. Indiana, temperatures are in the 60s to low 70s. We have northern Illinois, where temperatures are in the mid 70s to mid 50s to low 70s there. But in Chicago, winds are actually coming from the lake shore, from Lake Michigan, blowing towards the west, but then becoming light and variable outside the city. Central Illinois, temperatures, along with southern Illinois, temperatures are in the 70s. Okay, so what about Michigan? So Michigan, on the lower peninsula part, winds are actually coming from the northwest, blowing in no more than 20 miles per hour. The upper peninsula, there is a surface low center in the western part of the peninsula, and they're very light and variable, but except for the southern tip, it is stronger, with winds blowing from Lake Michigan, moving about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Temperatures in the lower peninsula are in the 50s to mid 60s. Upper peninsula in the 50s. Wisconsin, you have winds that are becoming light and variable in the southern half of the state, but in the eastern part of the state, winds are up to 25 miles per hour, moving towards the north. Northern part of the state, winds, western side of Wisconsin, winds are moving towards the northeast. But in the northeastern part of the state, winds are shifting towards the east. Temperature-wise, they're in the 60s. Well, on the lake shores, like Milwaukee to Green Bay, the temperatures are in the mid-50s to upper 60s. But in the interior, they're in the 60s to low 70s. Let's go to Minnesota, where Minnesota, generally, winds are blowing from the north, shifting towards the northeast. And places where there are stronger winds, they're blowing up to 25 to 30 miles an hour, but the northeastern tip, winds are actually light and variable. Well, they're actually light, though. Temperature-wise, throughout places like Duluth, 61 degrees, but elsewhere throughout Minnesota, temperatures are in the 70s to mid-80s there. Wyoming, eastern part of the state, winds are very light and variable, but in the southern part of the state, winds are moving towards the southwest. But in the western and northern parts of the state, they're moving towards the north, with winds blowing up to 20 to 25 miles per hour there, with temperatures in the 70s to low 80s. Missouri, winds are very light and variable in the southern half of the state, but in the northern half, mostly they're coming from the northeast, blowing up to 20 miles per hour, but the northwestern part of the state, winds are also light and variable, though, but it looks like it may be moving towards the northeast. Temperature-wise, they're in the 70s to mid-80s. All right, so what about Nebraska and Kansas? So in the eastern part of Kansas, winds are lighter. They're coming from Missouri, blowing towards the north. And on the western side of Kansas, winds are stronger, up to 30 miles per hour. Nebraska, much of the state's moving towards the north, moving at up to 30 miles per hour. Eastern part of the state, winds are light there. Temperature-wise, in Kansas, they're in the 70s to mid-80s. In Nebraska, same story. In the Dakotas, you have western South Dakota and central North Dakota with lighter winds, but western North Dakota winds are coming from the north-northwest, blowing up to 30-35 miles per hour there. But then winds start shifting towards the northeast. In South Dakota, much of the winds are blowing towards the north, but the western edge of the state, winds are either moving towards the northeast or towards the south. Temperature-wise, throughout the Dakotas, they're in the they range from 6. Well, in South Dakota, they're in the 80s, and in North Dakota, they're in the upper 60s to mid 80s there. Northern Rockies. Eastern half of the state, the winds are coming from the north, blowing about 20 to 30, up to 30 miles an hour in a few areas, a little higher. Western Montana, you have winds coming from the west, shifting towards the south, but becoming light and variable, though, in the southern part of Montana. And in northern, hold on just a minute, folks. So sorry about that, folks. In Idaho, winds are coming from the northwest. In southern Idaho, winds are coming from the northwest, blowing towards the northeast at about 30 miles an hour. In the rest of in northern Idaho, winds are lighter there, blowing towards the east, but shifting towards the south and then towards the east. But temperature-wise, they're in the 60s in northern Idaho, southern Idaho. Temperatures are in the 70s to low 80s. Montana, you have temperatures that are in the upper 50s to mid 70s in the eastern half of the state. The western half of the state, temperatures are in the 60s to low 70s. Wyoming, northern part of the state, winds are moving up to 30 miles an hour from the north, and in the western part of Wyoming, winds are generally moving from the west, but in some areas they're moving up to 30 to 35 miles an hour. And in the eastern part of the state, even though winds are lighter there, moving up to 20 miles per hour, they are moving from the north. Well, they're very light and variable, though, but in a few areas they're coming from the south, and they're converging near Casper. Temperature-wise, throughout Wyoming, you have temperatures that are in the mid-60s to low 80s there. Let's go to Colorado, where in the eastern part of the state, winds are moving towards the north, moving up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. In the western part of the state, winds are coming generally from the west and then becoming light and variable as it moves towards the Rockies. But in the southern part of the state, winds are actually coming from the southwest. But they're still light and variable, though. Temperature-wise, so places like Denver, they're at 79, and along with Alamosa, 70 in Colorado Springs, 91 in Grand Junction. In Utah, winds throughout much of the state are blowing from the southwest and the southwestern corner of the state, like St. George. The winds are blowing at around 30, 35, a little bit close to 40 miles per hour. But in the northern part of the state, winds are coming from the northwest, and then they shift towards the east, but then they converge near Vernal, and then they move towards the northeast. Well, winds are up to 30 miles an hour, and in southeastern Utah, winds are up to 25. Temperature-wise, in the throughout the northern part of the state, they're in Yeah, the northern part of the state, they're in the upper 70s to low 90s. And in the southern part of the state, they're in the upper 70s to mid 90s. In Nevada, you have in the northern part of the state where winds are coming from the north, but near Reno and Lake Tahoe and Carson City, winds are coming from the west, and they're all moving towards the east. And the winds near Las Vegas are very strong. They're near 40 to 45 miles per hour in the northeastern part of the city. Yet winds are coming from the south, and they're moving towards the northeast. Temperature-wise, throughout Nevada, you have temperatures that are in the 70s to mid-80s there, but in Las Vegas, 97. So you have New Mexico. Winds are generally coming from the southwest, blowing in some areas up to 30 miles per hour, a little calmer. But on the eastern and northeastern side, they're coming from the southeast, blowing towards the north. Temperature-wise, throughout much of the state, they range, in the northern part of the state, they're from the upper 70s to low 90s. Southern part of the state, 80s to upper 90s there, or even close to 100 degrees or a little more than that. Arizona, you have you have in the southern part of the state, western part of the state, winds are coming from the south. They're blowing up to 30 miles an hour in some areas, but in the eastern part of the state, winds are actually moving towards the east and then shifting towards the northeast. And in the northern part of the state, winds are generally moving towards the northeast. The northern part of the state, temperatures range from 64 in Flagstaff to 95 to 84 in Cabildo. And then in the southern part of the state, you have temperatures that range from the sorry about that, 88 in Yuma, 77 in Phoenix, 75 in Tucson, Alpine 66 if I forget to mention that. California, you have very strong winds offshore in northern part of the state. Winds moving past 60 miles per hour in a few areas. And they're blowing towards Eureka, but they're paralleling through along the California coast with some winds entering through the Bay Area, moving towards the Central Valley, California, with winds at about 30 miles an hour in a few areas. Then in Southern California, winds are blowing towards LA, with winds in the desert blowing up to 35 to 40 miles an hour, especially in Death Valley and the Mojave Desert. But in the northern edge of the state, they're coming from the north. The eastern part of Southern California, winds are coming from the north. But either way, winds are generally moving towards the east. So temperature-wise, they're 91 in Indio, 70 in San Diego, and 73 in LA, 102 in Phoenix, in Fresno, and Bakersfield. Temperatures in the 70s to low 80s in the Bay Area, 86 in Sacramento, 95 in Chico and Redding, 59 in Eureka. Now the Pacific Northwest, where you do have winds throughout the western part of the state, coming from the coast, shifting towards the south, but then shifts again towards the southeast. Winds are stronger near Yakima, with winds moving up to 30 miles an hour towards the southeast. In Oregon, winds are generally moving towards the south. In many parts of Oregon, winds are blowing at around 30 miles an hour. But in the immediate coastal areas, they're moving past that, probably 40 to 50 or even 60 miles an hour. Temperature-wise, they're in the 60s to low 70s in Oregon. Washington State, temperatures are in the upper 50s to mid 70s there. Now let's take a look at gusts. Yeah, the worst of the winds are in Northern California and Western Nevada. But the one in Western Michigan, light and variable, well, it's due to low humidity, which we'll get to in a second. But stronger gusts are in the Northeast, but they're in New England and Western New York, with winds generally blowing towards the west. In the west, plenty of gusts in various parts of the west, especially stronger winds along Northern California and parts of the Pacific Northwest. but only in the immediate coastal areas, though. Now let's take a look at what's going on with humidity. So there's just some wet weather in the central part of New York and the Poconos, as well as the Carolinas and Tennessee, and even parts of Missouri, and parts of Texas, and even in southern Montana and central Montana. But yeah, they're very dry. There's so much dry weather throughout northern California and northwestern Nevada. Let's check rainfall accumulation. The estimates. Just no more than about half an inch along the Carolinas and the Mid-Atlantic. But nothing widespread, though. South Florida, there's up to 2 inches of rain. In southern Florida. Eastern Texas, just a little bit of rain of up to half an inch there. Spotty areas as well. Desert Southwest, about up to an inch of rain in some areas, just a little more, especially near Tucson, and as well as Montana and North Dakota. Now let's take a look at the upper level winds. So basically for the upper level winds, just a moment, again, something. Oh yeah, that's a personal reminder for myself. So we do have a trough that's over the northeast, an upper level low that's over the Colorado River and the Gulf of California, and as well as the Pacific Northwest. So in other words, and there's a ridge in the Great Plains, so that means that there's wet weather in the northern Rockies and the desert Southwest, and as well as parts of the Northeast, and as well as the Carolinas, and as well as parts of Florida. In 24 hours from now, which will be Monday night, there's going to be a dip in the jet stream that's going to be over the northern plains and Canadian plains as well. A trough will occur throughout northern New England, a ridge over the Ohio and mid-Mississippi valleys. There's also going to be a small trough over the Great Basin, and an upper level low that's going to occur off of the California coast, which could mean wet weather throughout parts of California. And there could be wet weather in the northern plains, the Great Plains, parts of the Great Lakes. Now, what about Tuesday night? So by Tuesday night, there's going to be a dip in the jet stream, just a trough, actually, that's going to occur throughout the Great Plains and the ridge sitting over the Mid-Atlantic, and an upper level low. It's going to be off of the Northeast, and just a little bit of ridging right there, a little trough right there, which means could be wet weather in the Panhandle of Florida. And upper level low sitting in off of Southern California could bring wet weather throughout the desert Southwest. Not much though, but there's going to be some strong weather throughout the central part of the country Tuesday night, and then finally by Wednesday night there's going to be a dip in the jet stream located over the Colorado River Valley in Arizona, Nevada, and California. There's going to be a ridge over the southeast, a mini ridge along with the New York City area. Sorry about that. So, in other words, there's going to be some wet weather throughout the Ohio Valley, throughout places like the Great Lakes, and the upper Mississippi Valley, and as well as the desert Southwest, and even parts of the Great Basin. Now, let's switch gears to change the scene right now to here. Okay, so what are we talking about, folks? So, let's talk about what's going to happen throughout the next few days in terms of temperatures. We'll start from here. So there's going to be warm lows, well, plenty of warm lows throughout southern Florida, much of Texas, and even much of the South, and even the Great Plains, desert Southwest. Chilly weather throughout the northwestern part of the country. but milder conditions throughout the northeast, in the coastal part at least. Now we move on to tomorrow night. By tomorrow night, a lot of heat throughout Texas and Oklahoma, Great Central and Southern Plains, Desert Southwest, and California. Heat would start to occur throughout the central part of the country, with the exception of the Dakotas, in which they're going to bring in some dry, cool weather towards the northern plains, and along with it, some wildfires. I drew that. It's a poor drawing, folks. But still, even though the weather will be cooling off, but all that smoke would start entering through the upper part of the atmosphere, and then it would spread towards areas like the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, in a matter of in the next few days. Elsewhere, tomorrow, Tuesday morning, plenty of warm lows throughout the South, the mid-Mississippi Valley, much of the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, Desert Southwest, and even parts of the Mid-Atlantic and the New York City area. Chilly weather will occur throughout the Rockies and parts of the Great Basin. Tuesday night, there's going to be plenty of heat to go around throughout the southern half of Texas, and as well as the Desert Southwest and Central Valley, California. Yet, there is going to be a cold front that's going to be present throughout the southern plains, the mid-Mississippi Valley. This cold air rushes in, but there's still going to be warmth there. It's going to get chilly in the center part of the country. Parts of the Great Basin will get some heat, and as well as the leeward side of the Cascades, and all that heat would start moving east, which means more smoke coming in towards the northeastern sector of the country. Wednesday morning, plenty of warm weather throughout southern and eastern Texas, the rest of the South, Florida, the Ohio Valley, southern half of the Great Lakes region, and even parts of the Northeast, with the coastal part of New England becoming a little chilly because of the sea breeze. And there's going to be also warm throughout the Desert Southwest. Chilly weather will occur throughout the interior portions of the West. And finally, Wednesday night, it's going to be super hot in the southern tip of Texas, Desert Southwest, California. Chilly throughout the front range of the Rockies and Western Plains, and even parts of Michigan, and even the Great Lakes. All that heat would start moving towards the east, and as a result, there's going to be a cold front that's going to be moving in, bringing in some cooler air, but along with it, some more smoke. And what about dew point? So dew point wise, it's going to be plenty of humidity throughout the South, as well as the Great Plains, and even the Desert Southwest and parts of the Great Basin. Tomorrow night, there's going to be plenty of humidity throughout the South, but it gets worse in Texas and the Southern Plains, and even parts of the mid-Mississippi Valley. And all that humidity spreads up north as it encounters a cold front, because not only it's cool, but it's dry. Still more moisture throughout the Desert Southwest and the West Coast. So by Tuesday morning, there's going to be more moisture throughout the South. Heavy concentrated amount of moisture would start moving in towards places like the Mississippi Valley and the western part of the Great Lakes region. But yet, as a result, some moisture would start to move towards the east. Cold front starts to advance. More smoke coming in. And as well as there more moisture coming in towards the Desert Southwest. By Tuesday night, going to be more humidity throughout much of the south, with the exception of western Texas. More humidity as well throughout the Mississippi Valley, the Great Lakes region, and the Ohio Valley, and the Mid-Atlantic, and as well as parts of the Northeast too. This humidity moves east as a result of the cold front moving in, and there's going to be some humidity throughout the West Coast and parts of the desert Southwest, with just a little bit left over. So what about Wednesday morning? So by Wednesday morning, plenty of excessively humid air throughout the south, the Ohio Valley, Mid-Mississippi Valley, southern Great Lakes region, and as well as parts of the Northeast. Just a little bit of humidity still left over throughout the desert Southwest. And finally, Wednesday night, there's going to be a lot of humidity. It's going to be, well, throughout much of the south, with the exception of northwestern Texas. And all that humidity will race towards the northeast part of the country as the cold front advances. But it's a slow mover, though. But yet, smoke would start moving in towards places like the Northeast and the Great Lakes in the next few days. But there's going to be some moisture throughout the West Coast. Let's talk about Cape. Well, there's plenty of Cape for tomorrow morning in southern Florida, much of Texas and the southern plains, and even just a little bit in the desert Southwest and the Carolinas. So by tomorrow night, there's going to be a lot of convection in the center part of the country, in the Great Plains, the southern half of the Great Plains in Texas. Just a little bit of convection in South Florida, and as well as the Mississippi Valley, and even parts of the desert Southwest and the Great Basin and parts of California. Now, what about Tuesday morning? So by Tuesday morning, there will still be some convection in Florida, parts of the Southeast, Texas, Southern Plains. Now, what about Tuesday night? So Tuesday night, there's going to be a lot of convection in Texas, Southern Plains, Mid-Mississippi Valley, Ohio Valley, southern half of the Great Lakes region. Virtually much of the South, actually, but it gets worse in Texas. And there's plenty of convection throughout much of the desert Southwest and the Sierra Nevadas. By Wednesday morning, there's still going to be Cape, but a lot of it along the Texas Gulf Coast, and as well as western Texas. And even some Cape will still linger around throughout the desert Southwest and parts of the Great Basin. And finally, there's going to be a lot of Cape throughout the Gulf Coast, much of the South, the Ohio Valley, lower Mississippi Valley, and even parts of the Northeast, and the Mid-Atlantic, and even Florida. A little bit of Cape throughout the desert Southwest and parts of the Great Basin and the Sierra Nevadas. Even just a little bit in the northern plains. Precipitation, let's take a look at it. Okay, so we're still going to get some precipitation throughout the northern New England. Some showers, and even some offshore thunderstorms in the Mid-Atlantic. Plenty of thunderstorms in Florida, and even some showers throughout Texas, Oklahoma, and even plenty of storms to go around in the desert Southwest and the northern plains and the northern Rockies. And even some stray showers along the California coast. Monday night, tomorrow night. Still some offshore showers. Cloudy conditions will occur there in the Northeast, in the coastal part. South Florida, more showers and thunderstorms. Severe weather will occur throughout western Texas and the southern plains. and even more thunderstorms in the desert southwest, the Rockies, parts of the Sierra Nevadas, parts of the Great Basin, and even some throughout the northern Rockies and even the northern plains. On Tuesday morning, there will be some more showers in southern Florida and as well as Texas, but some storms in the northern part of Texas, the southern plains, central plains, parts of the desert southwest will get some showers along with the Rockies. Plenty of storms in the central part of the plains, if I already said that. Plus, the northern half of the Mississippi Valley going into the western Great Lakes region. Just some stray showers in some places in California. Tuesday night. Plenty of storms in Florida. Parts of the Gulf Coast. Southern plains in Texas. Oh yeah, and that includes the Central Plains as well as the Mid-Mississippi Valley and the Great Lakes region too. And as well as the desert Southwest and the Sierra Nevadas and parts of the Great Basin and the Rocky Mountains. Get some storms. Alright. And now what about Wednesday morning? So by Wednesday morning, it'll be all clear throughout the Northeast, but some storms will occur throughout parts of Florida and the Southeast, Gulf Coast, and Texas, Oklahoma, and the Mid-Mississippi, Missouri valleys, as well as the Great Lakes region, and even parts of the desert Southwest and the Rocky Mountains and parts of the Great Basin too. And maybe a few wintry precipitation, some wintry precipitation in Wyoming. And finally, on Wednesday night, there's going to be plenty of storms to go around throughout much of the South, Florida, Texas, Great Plains as well, desert Southwest, and even just some scattered showers and a few storms, and some of them could be in the form of wintry precipitation, but nothing too intense though if it were. But there's going to be storms throughout the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley, and even parts of the Northeast too. But not all parts of the Northeast though. Now let's take a look at wintry precipitation, snowfall amount. Okay, so what do we got? Well, we got some snow throughout the northern Rockies for the next 3 days, but in Montana it won't be as much, just up to 6 inches in a few areas, but a little higher, but nothing as much as a foot. But in Wyoming, it could be more. It could be up to 15 to 18 inches of snow in the northern part of Wyoming. But not much snow, just traceable amounts of snow in the Rockies, but southwestern Colorado, just up to 6 inches of snow. No more than that, hopefully. Alright, so now what are we going to do for the weather topic of the day? So the weather topic of the day, well, given that today is, well, the first day of meteorological summer, I might as well just go ahead and say it from the heart, you guys, rather than look it up. Okay, so what is the difference between meteorological summer and astronomical summer? So, here it is. The difference between astronomical summer and meteorological summer is that meteorological summer usually begins on June 1st, whereas astronomical summer usually begins either on June 20th or the 21st. Just to know, you guys, or rather, just for you guys to know, June 21st is my birthday. But, however, as I look at the calendar, I realize that as I look at it, it turns out that the first day of summer is actually on June 20th this year, but it'll occur at 10:42 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time this year. Now, of course, of course, my birthday is on the 21st. Some of my birthdays, there is the first day of summer. But for those of you who are curious, when was the first day of summer? Well, folks, my birthday was the first day of summer in 1994. So basically, I was born just about a couple minutes after the summer solstice began, which means that it started right around 2:48 p.m. Local Universal Time, which meant that 4 hours backwards, and you get 10:48 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So that meant that I was born just a couple minutes after the first day of summer occurred, or the first minute of summer occurred. I can't believe I was born in the first hour of summer, but not the first full hour though. The first one in any of the first 60 minutes? Wow. Can you believe that? Okay, folks, I'm just going to leave it there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, but we're going to play Minecraft tomorrow instead of Kingdom Hearts 2. We will continue that on Saturday. But tomorrow's stream, I will stream same time, 6 to 8 p.m. after work. And I hope you guys stay tuned for that. But turn on the notifications after you hit me with a follow, just so that you guys know when I'll be streaming the next time, in case, like, if I stream by surprise without notice, or that I don't stream, or that I forgot, or that something came up or something. That'll help. That'll help you guys. All right. Thank you guys for coming by, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow at 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on. And until then, stay safe, everybody, no matter what weather condition there is, nature could throw at you and others. But until then, peace out, everybody. Love you all, and signing out.